Commander, can you hear me? Commander, our HQ has been attacked by enemy HIMARS. The YouTube shadow banning army have upgraded and got the super weapon. Take it out, Commander, or I will not be able to talk to you. The HIMARS is detected to be around the location of the like button. Our victory depends on you, Commander. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 188 for the 30th of August. Currently we are in the afternoon of 31st. There are certain developments happening today which I will not be covering, and I know some of you guys might be following Rybar on Telegram. They come out some information, I've seen it, and some seems to be a bit contradictory to the tide of war. So I'm not going to cover and talk about it much, and this is the focus will be on the 30th. And for information for those that are watching like really early for this video at 7 Central Eastern Time, Central Eastern Europe, Central Eastern or Central Europe Standard Time, yeah, CEST, 7 p.m. or Singapore time 1 a.m. A lot of these Ukraine war mappers will all be gathering at the Mazarin geopolitics channel for a talk. So do check it out. You can, if not sure what's happening, go to the community tab on the DPA DPA's channel's community tab. Check out the post that I posted. You'll get the link over there. So let's start the coverage for the 30th of August Ukraine war summary. So moving to the most exciting front now, the exciting front, Southern Front. So there are continuous development over here, and we'll just start off with the Russian Ministry of Defense statement regarding the Kherson super duper uber counter-offensive. The Russian Ministry of Defense say that 2 days of unsuccessful attacks in Mykolaiv, Kryvyi Rih, and other directions, the Ukrainian forces lost 4 combat aircraft, 2 Sukhoi 25, 1 Sukhoi 24, 1 MiG-29, and 3 Mi-8 helicopters shot down. So I have no idea where are all these locations or what are they exactly referring about. So take it with a pinch of salt. Not very important. It's just important for the Russian MoD to continue to put in the numbers for the summary of how many Ukrainian equipments they have taken out. In terms of the macro environment, it's not actually that important. So moving on to the Southern Front. Before we go to the Southern Front, the Ukrainians have bombarded multiple locations, including Berislav, Novohryhorivka, the Antonovsky Bridge, and as well as Velika Kopani. So multiple shellings. I think this is to attack Russian reserve or ammunition depots to ensure that the Russians will not be able to reinforce and resupply their troops that are fighting in the front in this Kherson offensive. Currently there is this claim by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense saying, as they said, Russian troops has been shelling the settlement of Oleksandrivka. So Oleksandrivka, as far as I understand, is not captured by the Ukrainians yet. But however, given this statement, it seems like they have captured this position. And according to Ukraine map, on Twitter, he had been away for quite some time, and he just returned just in time for this Kherson offensive. This Twitter account is pretty much pro-Ukraine. However, he does have contact on the ground where he can call to confirm certain information. Although once in a blue moon, the confirmed information can be wrong. So the Ukraine claims that the Ukrainian forces have captured Oleksandrivka, So they say that the Ukrainian forces have retaken the villages of Oleksandrivka, and they confirm with calls. I'm not sure who he called. The Oleksandrivka is currently not inhabited by any civilians, so he might be calling someone nearby, maybe in Kherson region, or maybe living in Mykolaiv, perhaps, and to establish this information. However, even confirmed with call can be wrong. So because we all of us hear rumors, so reporting on the ground doesn't mean you actually know the truth. So it's still very dependent on who you are asking. And so I'm still putting this as a question mark. It's not a confirmed thing, because until the Rybar, at least, or the Russian Ministry of Defense considered this, it's very hard to imagine Oleksandrivka is currently being captured by the Ukrainian forces unless there is a video footage coming up. So there's a we need some time to see whether this is true, because it's a big claim. It's a very strategic town. So, and let's wait and see. There are certain informations saying that the attack is coming from the direction of Ryhke as well. So it was like some kind of a pincer. It comes down from the north, as coming down from Luparevy as well from the west towards Oleksandrivka. However, the Ukraine Defense Ministry still did not even acknowledge the entire Kherson offensive. So in their report, it just like as per normal, they didn't mention that they're attacking anything. So it will take multiple sources to try to piece out what is the truth. There is a attack towards Myrne from the direction from the direction of Luparevy, this direction eastward. However, according to Rybar, this information cannot be verified if there is a breakthrough at Myrne. So they didn't have this information. And at Pravdyne, yesterday we reported that the Ukrainian attempt has been failed. However, we have a Ukraine map claiming that Pravdyne has been captured by the Ukrainian forces. I think I can actually do this. I can actually maybe do this. So just to be fair to the pro-Ukrainian crowds, so that they don't feel that I'm shortchanging them. So Pravdyne currently is disputed. There is also attack there's fighting reported at Soldatske. So according to Rybar, the pro-Russian source, they say that fighting is in the area of the village of in the farm village of Soldatske, 3 kilometers southwest of Porodske. And their attempt is actually to attack Pravdyne. So it did not seem to work out. Currently, Soldatske, we put it as under Ukrainian control. So let's see how this goes. I have confirmed that the Ukrainian forces have captured Blahodatne. Yesterday, we put it as still possible, but we can confirm it today because we have some sort of a confirmation on both sides of the spectrum. We have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reporting that it is bombarded, and then we actually have information from pro-Russian source Rybar, where the Ukrainian forces actually retreated back to Blahodatne, which means that they have actually captured this position of Blahodatne. So another success in this great Kherson super duper uber offensive. The story seems to remain the same from the pro-Russian source, where the Ukrainians did attack to Kyselivka, but they were pushed back and then they retreated back to Blahodatne. So this information remains to be the same. There's fighting at Ternovi Pody. So according to the Ministry of Defense of Russia, they say that there is a Ukrainian attack. However, the Ukrainian forces suffered heavy losses and they were pushed back. So, however, according to Rybar, the pro-Russian source Rybar actually claims Ternovi Pody is actually captured by the Ukrainian forces. So this actually created a dispute because the pro-Russian source versus the Russian Ministry of Defense, they actually have conflicting information. So interesting situation here. However, the Ukrainians did captured Liubomyrivka. So similarly, this actually is a corroboration from both sides. We have the Ukrainian Defense Ministry mentioning that the location is actually shelled by the Russian forces, and then we have a pro-Russian source Rybar saying that the Ukrainian forces reached Liubomyrivka, and then they are unable to advance further, but which means that they still captured Liubomyrivka. So so this situation now is in this like this, which means that you can see that the Ukrainians have actually pushed out quite a bit from the Mykolaiv city outwards. However, in this offensive, there is this Mi-8 getting shot down near Novohryhorivka, probably in support of the offensive at Ternovi Pody and Liubomyrivka. As per I mentioned yesterday, the Mi-8 is actually supporting the offense with machine guns installed on board, so they are providing air support, close ground support. However, Mi-8 is actually a very not so nimble or agile helicopter. It is very vulnerable to surface-to-air missiles, especially manpads. So unfortunately, this is probably one of the three that the the Russian Ministry of Defense actually reported that they have shot down. So the next offensive that we are seeing is around the Partizanske Pervomayske region, where the Ukrainians, after yesterday's offensive did not work out, they actually tried again today. The report I reported yesterday on the 29th, they have tried to attack Blahodatne. Did not work out. So on the 30th, they tried again, and however, again they doesn't seem to be very successful at the moment. The counter artillery fire actually destroyed a certain stronghold of the Ukrainians at Pervomayske. So if you look at this date, I put 31 is because this information come out on the 31st. I know it's a bit confusing. It's also I'm still questioning myself if I should put it in this way, whether I should put the date as per the event date, or should I put it as the reported date. So I'm still considering, because the concern is mainly about tracking the information for myself. So I think about it because I myself is starting to question, if this is wise, or would I get confused or confuse everyone. Just before so Blahodatne, and then there's also fighting on the southern side of Kyselivka. So according to the pro-Russian source Rybar, they said that there is fighting, in the south of Kyselivka, as they say that the mortarmen of the 108 Guards Airborne Forces of the Russians bombarded the Ukrainians south of Kyselivka. So they have some photos and something like that. So I'm not really very interested in that. So because I have no time to watch this thing, but I mainly put it in so we can see the extent of the offensive is actually really quite big. And yesterday I mentioned that there's actually no action at Snihurivka. Today we actually saw information from ASB military, a Telegram channel. I think they also have a Twitter channel, where on the 29th they actually reported that there is an offensive at the Snihurivka region, so reportedly a medium force. So it's not a small size or large size, it's a medium sized force, and they lost hardware and then they retreated to starting position. It's a very typical kind of like you attack and then it's like, oh no, it's not working, then you retreat. So it does seems to tell us that there is some certain attempt at Snihurivka, and as a result that also helps us clear out the situation at Snihurivka, where the Russian Ministry of Defense previously reported this very weird information about them bombarding a ammo dump near Snihurivka or at Snihurivka, which is weird because they control Snihurivka. So at least we clear this out so this map here don't look so weird. So now we are at the Davydiv Brid Front. At the Davydiv Brid Front, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported that they have the battalion of the 57 Ukrainian Motorized Infantry Brigade has been defeated at Sukhyi Stavok. and the Russians is now currently, you know, trying to eliminate the remnants of the forces that did not manage to retreat in time. As such, this could be a possibility that the Russian forces have captured or recaptured Sukhyi Stavok with this attempt. However, we cannot confirm this information because of the vagueness of the way how the Ministry of Defense structured their sentence. And I did see information from today, from today's action, which is still ongoing because we're still now in the afternoon of Ukraine, where coming to evening, where the Ukrainians actually, you know, have this attack from Sukhyi Stavok to Kostromka towards Brukhinske. However, so don't get too excited about that yet, because that is going against the tide of war. It doesn't make a lot of sense, despite it's coming from Rybar. So because Rybar is reporting on the fly as per the latest information. At 12 o'clock, they say that Sukhyi Stavok troops, you know, the Ukrainian troops at Sukhyi Stavok suffered massive defeat, fire defeat. But then 4 hours later say that the Ukrainian troops managed to go to Kostromka and then arrive at Brukhinske, which oops, wrong too. This is actually, you know, 8 to 10 kilometers progress in a span of 4 hours. I'm not very convinced. I need to see more information coming out from Rybar to really confirm this information later in the day. So this information will actually comes tomorrow, when I report for tomorrow's summary. So I have a high degree of dubiousness about this information. Otherwise, there is no other information coming around this region. The Russian Ministry of Defense did mention there's a crossing across the Inhulet River, and out of the 12 tanks, I think only left, like, there's a detachment of 12 tanks trying to cross, and then only 3 or 4 returned. The Russian Ministry of Defense did not mention where exactly this battle occurred, because the Inhulet River is pretty long, so I did not indicate on the map, and I cannot take that kind of information seriously because there is no location. Otherwise, you can see that there is still bombardments, heavy bombardments on Lozove and Drivka, as well as Ternivka, which means that the Ukrainians' current focus is around this region, trying to, you know, focus on the support of the breakthrough at Sukhyi Stavok. And but we shall see, you know, whether we can have more verified information moving forward. So that's all from the Davydiv Brid Front. At the Kryvyi Rih Front, let me take away that. At the Kryvyi Rih Front, there is a lot of conflicting information, but first I start to cover the battles first. There is reported fighting at Arkhanhelske, or Archangel, Archangelske, Ingelskoye. So there is an attack, you know, coming from the direction of Ivanivka. There is a geolocation of a video of Ukrainian troops moving along this river here. They were geolocated, and this actually verified the information of this fighting at Arkhanhelske. However, this battle did not seem to have brought any success for the Ukrainian side. However, the fighting continues fiercely at Olhyne as well as at Vysokopillya. These two locations continue to be fighting very heavily. The Russians are launching many air support for the Russian troops that is currently so-called trapped in this position. However, there is also very conflicting information coming out from Surya Maps from Twitter. They reported Olhyne and Vysokopillya as captured yesterday. So, but according to the Russian Defense Ministry, or even the Ukrainians, they did not mention this. The Ukraine Defense Ministry actually reported shelling at Olhyne. So this is consistent with their continuous reports of bombardment in that location, claiming control over the area of Olhyne. But currently, I believe that it's still under Russian control. However, the Ukrainians did indeed trying very hard to capture this position. So the fighting continues fiercely in this region. This is great. Yeah. So you can see the bombardments continue all across the entire of Kryvyi Rih. There is also fighting reported at Petrivka. This is based on the geolocation information from Chris759 on Twitter, one of the top best geolocators that I've known of on Twitter. So he managed to geolocate the location of a video, I think, of destruction of some Ukrainian equipment. But that also suggests that this is an offensive from the Ukrainian side against the location of Petrivka. So that actually kind of clear out some of this, very weird situation where nothing is happening on the eastern side of this entire front. And I believe that there might be even more action around this region, but that we are not seeing or getting reported. So let's wait and see if this sort out itself. Otherwise, you can see almost every locations here is getting bombarded along the front line. So similarly, I will do this for the information given by Syriac maps to to reflect this information that Vysokopillya might be captured by the Ukrainian forces. So that's all from the entire southern front. And moving on to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, there is a still shelling reported at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. One shell hits the building of the solid radioactive waste processing complex, and the Russians counter artillery shelled Nikopol and Makhanets in retaliation. The Zelensky made a statement regarding the situation at the nuclear power plant because the IAEA representative has arrived in Ukraine. I'm not sure it's a Russian controlled Ukraine or the Ukrainian controlled Ukraine. So they said that the representative of the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Authorities, agency, they arrived and to visit the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and Zelensky said that this is an important mission and they are doing everything they could to ensure safety and work to the fullest. However, they point fingers to the Russians, who reportedly, according to Zelensky, continue to provocate in the direction of which the mission is to arrive at the station. And he hopes that the IAEA mission will be able to get started. And however, he still say that the Novohryhorivka and nuclear power plant region is still very threatened. So now this is the funny part. The Zelensky said that the occupiers do not leave the station, continue shelling, and do not take their weapons and ammunition from the territory of the nuclear power plant. So they say that the Russian forces is at the nuclear power plant. They put their ammunition and weapon at the nuclear power plant, and then they shell themselves. So that's what he said. So they say the Russians intimidate their nuclear scientists, and the risk of radioactive disaster due to Russian actions is not reduced. So he discussed the situation of with the IAEA Director General Grossi about the situation at Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant as well as the IAEA mission. And then he claims that Ukraine is the only country that can guarantee all the processes at the Zaporizhzhia station to take place according to the standards and to be under control. The Russians just doesn't need it. So Zelensky is claiming Russia do not need a nuclear power plant. Perhaps that's what he say. So that's the situation here at the nuclear power plant at Zaporizhzhia. Moving on to the Zaporizhzhia line, there is there you can see that there is actually no explosion, new explosions icon, because the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense say there is bombardment across the entire line. That's it. So there is no specific location, so I do not have this information. However, at the very end of the line, we had at Velika Novohryhorivka, there is a Russian shelling at this location. So that's all from the Zaporizhzhia line. Moving on to the Donetsk Front. At the Donetsk Front, There is no more active offensive along the Vuleda line, and only some bombardments reported at Zolotaryne, Petrivka, as well as near Blahodatne. So, however, there is reported fighting towards Novohryhorivka, which is actually reported yesterday, and so this is still relevant because it's still yesterday, and there is fighting reported at Myrne, and this is supported by shelling of command posts by the Russian forces. There is offensive reported at Krasnohorivka. However, it did not seem to work out by the Russians against the Ukrainian positions. And on the northwest direction of Donetsk city, we have the fighting at Pervomaiske. From the direction of Pisky, they are moving towards Pervomaiske, and there is information coming out. This particular one that I quoted is from Syriac Maps, saying that the Russian forces have, or DPR forces, the Donetsk People's Republic forces, have captured this road exchange here. They have captured this road exchange region. So this is a slow push forward. There is fighting reported. No, this is outdated information. This is from yesterday, but it's actually towards Olhyne from Spartak. Otherwise, you have quite a number of bombardments by the Ukrainians on Russian positions. You can see all along the line. So there is shelling reported at Izyum, but we do not see any information about ground offensive in this region. This icon is outdated, and shelling returns to New York, and there is fighting reported at Sumy, which is reported yesterday. And that's it from the Donetsk Front. So in the grand picture, we don't have a lot of offensive ongoing, except for from the Pisky region towards Pervomaiske, and towards Myrne, and towards Novohryhorivka. Very conservative in a way, or very concentrated, very focused offensive in the Donetsk Front. Over at the Bakhmut front, fierce fighting continues at Kodema, and there is a report of Ukrainian counteroffensive in the Kodema region. However, this counteroffensive did not work. The situation continues to be a stalemate over at Kodema region. If you can see this weird geographical feature, this is like this long line here. This is actually a higher ground as compared to Kodema. So the Ukrainian forces are reportedly entrenched along this line, this higher position line, and they are able to rain fire upon the whole of Kodema, and this is causing a lot of problems for the Russian forces to actually capture the entire area. So this is the reason why Kodema continues to be rather difficult to capture. So that's the situation there. Fighting continues at Siversk, and it's another one of this very fierce fighting location. This location have seen continued fighting for the past week already, and there is still no breakthrough for either side. No, this will delete. So the fighting have resumed at Bakhmut, but not much information we have about this fighting at Bakhmut. We just simply know that there is fighting at Bakhmut, and there is bombardment at Bakhmutske. The offensive at Bakhmutske, the ground offensive seems to have paused. However, Soledar also, no, we didn't see information. I thought there was fighting there. Yeah, it's currently, they are just consolidating their positions, taking a rest. Maybe they are rotating troops. They are not actually making a push. This one I forgot to change the icon. So, however, we can still see that the Russian artillery troops continues to be really very busy bombarding multiple locations. Then we are going into the Siversk Front, and at the Siversk Front, the offensive at Novohryhorivka kind of died out. There is no more offensive at Ryborivka. We still have bombardment around the region. Particularly weird is the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense mentioned name drop Rostov and Sperne, which are unlikely to be under their control. So very awkward, but we shall see, whether they will keep up with this. Maybe the actual situation is the Ukrainians have counterattacked and actually captured Sperne and Berestove. Who knows? So that might be also the possibility, which is why I have to indicate now just in case, but I'm not going to give this question mark for them yet, because this is very out of the blue. Don't seem to make a lot of sense. Moving on to the Izyum Front. So this is Izyum city. At the Izyum Front, we have information. This is not new. This is not new information. There was previously fighting at Blahodatne. We didn't see any information about Blahodatne's fighting, and there is, however, fighting at Dolina. And that's all we have. We only know that the Russians do bombard Dolina and Krasnopilya, the sister town. The offensive in the direction of Snihurivka was not repeated. However, on today's report, however, we do have new information from Rybar, the pro-Russian source, where the Russian forces managed to capture some ground south of Siversk and north of Dubrovnik, probably around this region. They managed to control here. They managed to push forward a bit. However, according to Rybar, there is some high grounds around here, around the left or right and of Dubrovnik, and all these high grounds are controlled by the Ukrainian forces. As such, the Russians are not able to really make much progress, and this progress seems to be the best they could do at this moment. They say that Brezhkivka is currently becoming a war zone, because the Ukrainians on the high ground is able to attack the Russian forces stationed in this Brezhkivka. As a result, maybe this is why we are seeing this gray zone situation where there is this conflicting report that the Ukrainians reporting bombardments over this location. That's all. That's all we have here at the Izyum Front. Bombardment reported at Nosivka. Otherwise, nothing very significant around here anymore. Balakliya, there is nothing. There is rumors of Ukrainian forces gathering in this region. I think it's either Husarivka or I think it's Price Shep. I think it's Husarivka. So there is this Ukrainian forces gathering over the past few days, seemingly to prepare a new offensive. But however, I list it as a rumor, so I'm not indicating it. And we are now at the Kharkiv Front. At the Kharkiv Front, we have a reported reinforcement towards Ruska Lozova. Up to 400 personnel were transferred to the area of Ruska Lozova in preparation of a counter-offensive. So this is coming after there is another reinforcement reported at Pitomnik on the 27th of August. So which means that there is a significant clustering of Ukrainian troops in this region, and we might see a Ukrainian push probably soon, I guess. Otherwise, we have bombardment across the entire Kharkiv Front. You can see all the way from Bayrak, Stary Saltiv, Peremoha, Shestakove, Petrivka, Ruski Tishki, Veliki Prokori, Ruska Lozova, Dementivka. So all the way up to even Duvanka and Sosnivka. So the bombardments is across almost the entire front. So the Russians are really, trying to shell the hell out of the Ukrainian forces to make sure that they can't do much things. The report of the fighting west of Kozocha Lopan was not mentioned today, and neither is the report of the fighting at Svislichne. However, there is a dispute about Sosnivka. According to Rybar, the pro-Russian source, they claim that the Russian forces maintain firm control over Sosnovka, which is Sosnivka. So this actually is a contradiction to what we have previously reported, that the Ukrainian forces have either hold position or captured Sosnivka. So now there's a new gray zone. Otherwise, I don't think these are all new information. All this offensive is reported previously, and is not mentioned today in any of the reports that I have read thus far. So this is the entire summary for the day of 188 for the 30th of August. And please continue to support, subscribe, like the video. I think subscription always helps a lot because it helps to build the base, allow the YouTube algorithm to push this out to more people. If let's say, for example, the channel is very small, only got 20 people, it's very hard to even push the video view to be over 100 views. So the base means a lot. The base is very important. That's why the more subscription actually helps. So I need you guys who always come to watch, please help to press the subscribe button, and this will help the channel a lot. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.